welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. And our guest today is Yi Meng. So if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what you do and where you live.
Yeah, sure. I actually 2 years ago found a company while I was school full time at Penn State. I figured out try to figure out this problem. But I wasn't trying to start a company. Basically, I was shopping with my sister-in-law. She was living in China, and I couldn't. Of course, the pandemic, I couldn't be with her, and my niece born during this pandemic. So I was thinking, oh my God, how I can, involved, right? So I was shopping a lot with her, try to buy everything, all the dresses. Of course, me covered it, right? So I was shopping back and forth with her with a mobile app like the WeChat, send the text like messaging back and forth with the product links. And I was thinking, why we have to shop like this? Because after 50 links, you get all confused. And I was doing a little bit of research and try to figure out how we can find a better platform to shop. I didn't find any. It quite shocked me. And when I dive deeper with this research, I found, it's everybody online shoppers I literally 230 million, I think, in the US for people to shop online nowadays. And they all do that. Like, I bet you, Dan, you have either received product links or send someone to ask about these products and either need opinion or feedback, right?
100%.
So I was thinking, how this could be. I couldn't believe it, because of the technology nowadays. Pretty much you can solve this problem. There's not issue based on technology. And I was doing this, and I did try to figure out why, right? So I found out, okay, so the Amazon, Walmart, all these online big e-commerce shops, their goal is not for us to shop together. Their goal is to have a one click, which is they have one click, right, to check it out. They want you to make decisions. They want you to buy. They're not trying to give you the feeling like, hey, two women shopping for baby stuff, like a back and forth chatting, talking about this stuff, and then you make a decision. That's not their thing. They just want you buy. So I was thinking, you know what? I'm going to change this. And that's how I started my CoCarting.com.
That's really
Yeah.
that's really cool. So I guess as of right now, as a startup founder, what does a typical day look like for you?
Ooh, like my hair, I started when I started, I feel like my hair definitely can grow grayer because there's a lot of areas that you don't know. Like, I think a lot of people think, oh, startup founders, but they must know all and know everything, right? It's not true. We actually just like a regular people that we work in certain side that in our life we know specific things like expertise in something, but there's so many things for us to learn. So I think for me, learn and trying to collaborate with the team members, build relationship with our team members and investors. Yeah, and hiring. That's my job.
So, how you think that technology is helping your business? Because I believe in your project, everything is about technology. So, how do you think it is helping you in a good manner?
I think the technology definitely nowadays, especially like ChatGPT, right? All this AI and oh my God, it is a crazy time for I think some years, we can look it back. This is definitely a crazy time for our history. Yes, so nowadays technology is not issue to solve any problem, I feel like, especially the problem that we are looking for, right? It's not shopping is not new, social is not new. I'm just kind of combine they're together, and now it's a new thing. When I was looking for competitors, they have some. I see the trend is starting doing this social shopping, but for what we do, actually build a shopping cart can be able for all friends to bond and chatting. It is new, and the technology definitely helped me to solve this. Yeah.
Great, great. How do you market and promote your website to reach your targeted audience?
Most are like, for example, SEO, social posting, which is the social
Mm-hmm.
parts. We focus on like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. That's our main like traffic driving for our website, and also LinkedIn for sure. Depends what audience we are trying to reach. Like for hiring, definitely LinkedIn. Investors, definitely LinkedIn. But if we're looking for like our, college students, they're not there. They're more like TikTok and social media platform. That's where they hang out, and that's why we're there.
For sure. So I guess what was your biggest challenge with starting this company?
The biggest challenge. There's too many. Let me figure it out. Right, the biggest, man. I guess very fortunately that we have a angel that join us, so we raise some fund. But I think the biggest challenge, of course, for all the startup, right, is to have a product fit for the market. So we are pivot for that, and try to solve this problem, but at the same time, what customer that we are trying to target that need this product the most, right? Like for gentlemen's, when you're shopping with your girlfriend, she always send you links, right? And when the birthday come up, it's oops, I can't find the links. And that's the problem for guys, right? But this use is so wide, and I feel like the shopping together is so delayed, because the last decades of e-commerce, you look at back, Amazon, from selling book to selling everything today, right? Wasn't changing much the way, because it's a really solar kind of experience, I would say, and it never really focused on how about friends and family, how about your mom, your grandma, right? So now I'm trying to bring that back. Just when you shop with your friends and family at the mall, when those days when we're younger, we have fun, we're running around, right? I wanted that feeling back, but online, right? So yeah.
But so I guess, I mean, you mentioned having an angel investor, right? So what does that look like? I mean, how did that process look like for you? How did you find the right investor? 'Cause I think that so many people struggle with this when it comes to startups.
Yes, I think for finding a angel investor, it is hard. That's super hard to achieve. But the thing is, as a founder, if you need to have some characters in you, for example, you need to have a great sales skill, because all your fundraising is really not, it's really based on your sales. You sell a proportion of a company, right? So I have like over 8 years experience just selling diamonds. So I read people for living, right? In that way, it helped me a lot. So I found a person now who's interested in my team products, and really give us a fund, but also really trusted us, and see this is the game changer, really believed our product. And I feel like that's the good vibe. And then you learn a little bit more, because the investor almost like, it's like you're going to be with them for quite a long time. So you want to make sure the investor just not someone give you money, you accept it, it's awesome, but you also have to deal with this person for long term. So you want to make sure the personality really match, the value really match for your team as well. Yeah.
For sure. So you're in Hershey, Pennsylvania. I think it's like a smaller city. So can you talk more about, 'cause I think that so many people think that they need to be living in a certain city, like in a large city, to have a startup. So can you talk about, that specifically being in a smaller city and how you've been able to achieve that in 2023?
Okay. I think nowadays, thanks to the technology, right? I mean, virtual Zoom meeting always available because the pandemic brought here. I think now, if you doesn't matter where you live, for fundraising, yes, we have affected a lot because where the investors are, right? But for a company to achieve, I think no matter where you are, if your strategy is right, if your plan's right, your team's right, yeah, I think you can achieve it in anywhere, not just because you are Hershey or you are in New York or some of the tech world, yeah, Silicon Valley.
So how do you handle the customer support and ensure customers are satisfied?
We do have like a Google Analytics monitoring. We do have some of the testing, user testing platform. We also monitor with I don't know if you are familiar with Hotjar, so that's what we
Yeah.
use to monitoring it. Data is more important than my instinct, how I feel about this color, how make decision. Now it's all about data for sure.
Yeah, Hotjar obviously makes a map for you where you are able to see where there's a lot of traffic. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But have you ever thought about connecting it with some AI tool to make meaningful results out of it?
What kind of tool you're referring? We have
Like
a lot of
you,
tools.
like you can connect this module with some AI tools where AI tools can write some sort of description for you where it will be going to suggest you this area needs this sort of improvements. So this sort of users used to click on there because on Hotjar you can see different colors like how many people were gonna tap over there, how many users clicked over there, but you might not know what type was the what was those users, like what was their type, what their sentiments. So AI can help you to even measure their sentiments. It can give you segregation of people of the customers, like this customer was of this sort of track history and this was looking for this sort of thing. Like it will be going to give you some more meaningful data. So just I was just giving a thought, maybe you can utilize the AI as well to make more meaningful feedback of the users.
Well, if you got this platform, let me know because we are
Yeah.
actually using still the bad old methods. Like for the hard jar, you measure it, right? And then we have the staff go look over to analyze it. Okay, so this, for example, this people missing for this sign up or for missing, some certain things, and then we adjust it accordingly. But yeah, you're welcome to introduce me some tools. That make my job a lot easier. Especially tell me, okay, AI, how do I get this from this many user to this many user? Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, for sure. I will do this already for you, no problem.
Yeah,
But
the AI can help us, but the thing is, we still have to work very hard. Like me, I don't know how many hours I work. People say, "Oh, you work full time." I say, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." But how many hours? I don't know because founder life schedule is okay, meeting, and I eat. I don't have kids. I have no family time. I just want to get CoCarting, going, right? I just want to. From 10 users when I started, I said, "Oh, I will be so thrilled if I got hundreds." But when I get 100, I say, "Oh my God, what? Only get 100? We need it." You see what I'm saying? So this is like nonstop, right? And you just keep going, keep working until it's
continuous
successful.
improvement.
Yeah, until successful.
Yeah, that's great. That's something good. Like this is still successful, and yeah, in entrepreneurship, this is a understood thing. Like even for me and Daniel, hours doesn't matter at all. We don't know we are working for 12 hours or 18 hours. So
I think for Qasim, because Qasim has three kids. Like I don't have any kids either. Like, I'm not married, so for me, it's like every single day. And Qasim's like, dude, I need to spend time with my kids. Like, just I'm like, all right, all right.
Yeah. Sometimes your family make you guilty. And I have engaged recently. And my fiance said I want to rename myself CoCarting. So because he will get more attention, right? But that was a joke. Yeah, he definitely supported me, and it's just really like family have to support you, because you really have to focus in this the first 5 years. You really put the startup as the top priority in your life.
Cool. So, what future plans or innovations do you have in for your website or business?
Right now we are actually got some of the data that what we need to do is to have a new like redesign of a UI. So our interface going to have a new experience, and our users, based on our user interview and all that, so we need to change some of the user experience to improve it better. So that's our top. We also have improve our SEO. I mean, if you tell me like, do I know SEO before? Yeah, I heard, but I never dive into so deep, right? So now I learned so much, and I got scammed many times. It's a crazy world. I mean, there's a lot of company that targeting founders just for just for scam them, help of them. And my personality, before I start this, I trust everybody. Everybody in my eyes are good people, unless you prove me wrong, right? And then now I feel like my personality have to switch and then change a little bit, because I learned and I burn and I learn just because I have a CoCarting.
Sure. So I guess if we're going to have this conversation again in 1 year from now, where do you expect things to be with your business?
Yeah, I will expecting I sleep a little more. For business going, I would say we have finished the fundraised. Our users will be have like at least like meets our goals, that they really like the platform. When you build the MVP, it's a very bumpy road, right? Everybody knows, right? But I would love to build they call minimal lovable products. So I don't think we're going to have like 3 million users at meet the goal. But if we got the basic of the product that's been loved, I think we have a huge potential.
For sure. So, what advice do you have to somebody that's thinking about being an entrepreneur and wants to get started, but they don't know how to go about it? Like, somebody that is in college or is in your shoes, that you were in a few years ago.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of advice, because I've been the bumpy road, right? So number one, I think when you started, you have to do a lot of research. That was my major, right? Business management. So I done that. So that's very good. You need to do that. So that's why I didn't give up anything, right? I'm still working until now. So make sure your idea is a good fit. Make sure that a lot of people have this problem. So that's all based on research. And number two, you make sure you have a solid, like a family support, because you're gonna spend. You thinking you spend 8 hours? Don't start work startup, because there's an endless of hours. You sleep, think about it. You dream, think about it. And when you breathe, you also think about it. So as soon as you breathe, you think about it. So you make sure that you can have this time and commitment to it. And also people, when they started the business, separate their personal bank accounts with the business. So I I know that because I come from business management, so I know all these base rules, but a lot of founders I've met that they don't know. So their income and personal and business all messed together. That was a nightmare. And then I think definitely need to have some skills for sales. If you want to be successful, you need to have the sales skills, the people skills. This is really important because you're going to recruit your team, and your team, basically you don't have much money, so you cannot pay them, but how you can build relationship and create this dream together. That's a big risk for a lot of people. So for founders, you need to have a people skill for sure.
Awesome. So if somebody watching this, wanted to use your product, could you share your website, or how could they find you on social media?
Absolutely. So the CoCarting spelled CoCarting.com. And you can just Google it, CoCarting. So, and you will find the CoCarts, yes, for try. It's a free as well. CoCarting is free to use, so everybody can sign up. When you sign it up, you can add some products in there. We have Amazon, Walmart. We also going to launch for Dress Lily, which is a big fashion company like a Shein, but it's a Shein competitor. And then people can just add their friends, add products in the cart, and everybody can collaborate shopping. They can chat, they can vote, they can have a family time in CoCarting.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I learned a lot. And hopefully in 1 year from now, we can have this conversation again, and your company will scale exponentially between now and then. So
Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
thank
Appreciate.
you. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.